Hey everyone, welcome to Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
Matt.
Tip is here too.
I am here.
Tip. I'll tell you right now, I really appreciate your ingenuity that we wouldn't have to, in post-production, put in background music if you just play background music. However, we don't have the licensing agreement and an ability to play the music you're playing legally.
I know you're.
Oh,
it could be a litigation night.
Even though it's very quiet,
you
it's
live
still
off
there.
the grid. Live off the grid, so they can't find you, but they can find me.
The music industry is very litigious.
All those last names yelled out.
Well, the thing is,
right?
They would sue Forrest, but all they would get out of him is student debt. No laughter.
And it's one spoon.
No.
Which
you bring up student debt
later on
There's
in the
only
episode.
tears. All right.
Oh God, only tears.
Today we're going to talk about the. Well, we thought it was the book of Boba Fett, but apparently they should have called it the Manuscript of the Mandalorian because this was another.
Hey, did Dave Filoni write this episode?
And he directed it.
And John Favreau. But this episode was heavily Dave Filoni influenced, especially with two of his favorite characters. And maybe two of my favorite characters too. I can't wait to get into it with you guys.
Yeah,
but what are we going to talk about besides the Book of Boba Fett episode 6?
We're going to talk about Peacemaker. I think everyone watched that, right?
Yeah.
And everyone watched Everyone watched the season premiere of South Park.
No.
Unfortunately.
No.
Okay.
But you guys, I heard it's bad. You guys can just tell it to me. I can't wait.
I thought it was funny.
I didn't think it was bad.
I mean, the metaphor wasn't strong.
Compared to some of their best episodes they've had recently.
I mean, it wasn't a great It wasn't a great metaphorical episode, but I thought it was just funny on its own merits. It was like
yeah. If you looked at it as a metaphor for mass, it makes it pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I just didn't get the point they were trying to make, though. Like, what point were they making in that episode?
Well, just the pajamas. You guys wear pajamas.
Stick around and find out because we'll be talking about it in the episode.
Major's turns on HBO Max to watch South Park. Okay, so
is it on HBO Max or is it on Paramount Plus?
It's on HBO Max.
Oh,
yeah.
Very weirdly.
Only those post-COVID episodes.
Man, that's
Paramount.
so weird. If I had more Adderall, I would love to go online and just dig through the filings to see like the contract and like what the terms are and why like HBO Max has the rights to South Park, but not the South Park
specials. Yeah, they had some special deal.
Probably like some weird legal loophole, like how Never Say Never Again was made. That James Bond movie.
Super weird. John Favreau has a cooking show on Netflix. I was like, should this cooking show be on Disney Plus? Isn't Disney Plus starving for content? And John Favreau.
Oh, nice pun.
Interesting.
Star Wars cuisine.
Yeah, fuck you, Tip. That's a great idea. Cuisine. Oh my goodness! Why is there not a Star Wars cooking show? Matt, would you watch it? Shut up, you would. I know you would.
I would watch it.
What about a fantasy cooking show?
I don't know how far they would go with it, but it would be funny.
I'll tell you this: they took one movie and they turned it into 10 movies and so many spin. Like, I'll tell you, if there's one IP out there that you can spread, then it is Star Wars. Which I like.
There's so many characters. And
this
episode, characters.
So many characters this episode, right? First off, before we really dive into it, what do you guys think about the episode? Yay or nay? Did you like it?
Yeah, overall? I mean, it was definitely.
It.
It was like I think the last. In addition, it was definitely a part 2 of last week, but I thought it definitely. We saw Grogu and what Luke and Grogu are up to. Although I did have Last Jedi flashbacks, unfortunately, when I saw the temple being built. Not that it was bad, just because anything that reminded me of Last Jedi, as in the temple being built, like the Jedi temple. I was like,
So let's do some broad overview topics. Let's talk about the temple. I thought it would have been way cooler if it was built by the Force, not some
robot ants.
And
they need to train the Force. Where do those androids
even come from?
Well,
I was curious about that too.
If he's building it with the Force, he has no time to train Grogu.
Yeah, he's.
Then it's already built.
Or what if it is training?
He's Luke motherfucking Skywalker. What if he's
but the Force
your
doesn't make you all powerful.
Your training is not
over.
over.
Jump in the other hand. It's not that hard. Why?
Your training is not over until you learn to move all these rocks into a whole building.
Yeah, make Grogu build the temple. Make that his teaching.
Okay, just because you're a Jedi,
like child labor laws.
Just because you're a Jedi doesn't mean you're a master mason. You're not like Superman who gets every power.
I know. You don't want to make Luke a Mary Sue. He can't be good at everything.
That's a really good point, because when we found Luke in the sequel trilogy, he was in those huts that were already built. You're right. He's not a carpenter. He might not know how to make a house.
Yeah. Well, maybe those robots are powered by metachlorians and electricity.
Oh,
God. How about that?
The YouTube thing pointed out how they're all the same color scheme as R2-D2.
Yeah, that was nice.
Hey, Matt, has there ever been a droid Jedi? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Like a droid.
No. What's the helicopter guy? Helicopter guy. It's close enough to a Jedi.
Grievous, he's
the guy.
but
he's the guy who stole. The guy who. I don't think
Grievous.
Yeah, Count Grievous.
Well, I thought Grievous was organic, or
he was organic and became.
Well, he uploaded his brain into the robot.
I mean, I don't want to bring up WandaVision, but
that's why
using the parable about the ship.
Grievous didn't use the
Force.
Taken
away before you're not you anymore.
Grievous didn't use the Force. He just had lightsabers that he used. So, but yeah, that'd be interesting if a droid became a Jedi. I think that's like an untapped potential there for a story.
Could droids use the Force? They don't have any midichlorians. Midichlorians are the life form. Or,
I guess
Obi-Wan quote, or I guess Obi-Wan.
You're also arguing about the idea of consciousness, and could a droid ever achieve true consciousness?
Well, Star Trek already covered that with Data.
C-3PO?
Yep.
But also he didn't
conscious.
Also, he didn't have the Force. He just had some lightsabers he could swing around.
Yes, I was not making a factual statement. More of a terrible joke. I apologize to Robbie and the listeners at home. I'm sorry. Grievous is not a Jedi. I'm not even sure if he was.
He's not really.
There's only two of them.
He's not even really a droid though. He was like part organic, so he wasn't even like a. That was my. But I don't know.
The droid who can cough.
The droid who dreamed of being a Jedi. Do electric men dream of metachlorian sleep sheep?
Wait a second. Is Cyborg a human from the Justice League?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he's a cyborg.
He is, but okay. Anyway, so
let us know what you think. Tweet at us. Let us know. Tweet at us at Zealot Podcast. Just let us know. Was Major right or was Forrest right? That's Forrest with 2 R's. He is very pedantic about that.
Yeah, because Forrest with 1 R is going to be on the show later on, so we got to differentiate. Forrest Whitaker. So yeah, go ahead.
I think what's interesting about this episode is how they balance essentially a samurai story with a Western, and they both just touch on the 2 big influences of the Star Wars universe, what George Lucas drew from old samurai films and old Westerns, and in one episode you got it, and it doesn't feel forced.
And Dune, I loved it. Like, this was the perfect homage to Star Wars. You're absolutely right, Matt. And then they threw in that little touch of Dune there, right? Like, everything's fine as long as the spice runs. And I was like, wasn't that a line from Dune? And I was like, that's a clever homage.
So what does the spice of Star Wars do, Matt? Is it just like
it's a drug?
It's a drug. So it's just I guess
like, since they're Disney, they don't go deep into
drugs. I understand Cobb Vanth and the reason he kicked it over, but if that was worth more than his town, he could have sold that or kept the gold. He could have created life-changing wealth and financial benefits for the town.
At what moral cost?
Using illegal goods. I guess he was. Yeah. It's too much for his good morals.
Hey,
but who are you going to sell it to as well? It's just going to attract a big target on your head. It's like what's that movie, No Country for Old Men, when he finds the cash?
Like a Westerner? Yeah. Imagine if they paid homage to that, which they do.
So much of a Western.
Especially
how he came up to the side of the screen with his hand on his gun.
Can we talk about how clever this episode was? Like, the writing on it was perfect, right? It was so misleading because they introduced the episode and it starts with Cobb Vanth and then it hits the title screen. It's a stranger in the desert. and just automatically you're like, oh, it's Cobb Vanth. That's what you're talking about. But in the back of my head, I'm like, he's not a stranger. And then later on, we meet motherfucking Cad Bane.
Cad Bane.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Dude, so I was watching this. I literally stood up. I was like laying down. I sat up, and I was like, "Oh, that's fucking Cad Bane." I did not see that coming. That
was it when
great.
you saw the?
I didn't see that coming either.
As soon as I saw that hat from afar,
Okay.
in the Mirage, as soon as you see that bowler hat or whatever it is, just beautiful.
I thought that was awesome how he came up.
How good did he look?
Yeah, that was bad. They did a good job with it.
They did a phenomenal job.
And he has the same
add a little
voice.
bit of wrinkles to him.
Yes, I was so happy they kept the same voice actor. It might have turned me off in the entire episode if that was.
Or how about when he lifted that hat? That was a feel to it. Have you guys ever noticed what they always put like what do you call it on the back of their boots?
Spurs.
Yeah, spurs. Yeah, they added like spurs clinking to Boba Fett and all the old Star Wars when he's walking around.
He actually had spurs.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy definitely should have been on the
I was wondering
mount.
if he actually had spurs or not, but I noticed that
he just walked
had
up.
that in there.
What? Why didn't he have a mount?
In the Wild West,
Where does he need spurs?
very few people. Yeah, that's the thing. In the Wild West, very few guys had spurs. That's totally like a Hollywood thing. You know.
And guess where this was made?
And it just sounded cool.
On Tatooine. And you use the spurs to ride a bantha. And then can you insert the bantha meme when he's on the speed bike? The gift that's going around.
Yeah, the gift of fan service.
No. All right, I'll send to you later. The listeners, the more savvy listeners at home know exactly what I'm talking about. Like it's Boba Fett looking ridiculous. It's Tamara Morrison looking ridiculous on a speed bike, trying to be like a bantha. When he's hopping up and down while he's sitting on it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know what gift you're talking about now.
It's so good. It's so funny.
I've seen people use that before.
Like
they caught him in such a small little clip that it just looks.
He just looks so ridiculous. My question is, are we like Cad Bane just said? Like Boba Fett's like a brutal, vicious, bloodthirsty bounty hunter. Are we about to see legit Boba Fett? Or
talk about the kettle.
Well,
he's
been talking about how he's changed and stuff.
Right, which I have.
Yeah, but that's boring. Nobody likes that Boba Fett.
I don't know. I actually kind of like it, but also
like
it's sadistic. I like it because I know there's a million people who thought Boba Fett was the coolest motherfucker in the world, and I know how angry they are, and that anger fuels my life.
Only because
pissing off Star Wars fans is what Star Wars does best. Oh, this is for them. This is their last Jedi.
I think it's going to be interesting seeing Bane fight Boba Fett with just their history together.
What shall we break first?
First off, how can Boba Fett not look badass in this upcoming episodes? Because he's going to be fighting with Fennec Shand, who's a certified badass, the Mandalorian, who's a certified clumsy, goofy badass, and then Blacker Samson, which is just he just rips someone's arm off. He's crazy. So how can they not write Boba Fett to look cooler than all of them? It's Boba Fett's show. Yeah. So I think by proxy, he's going to get pigeonholed into being badass next episode.
So,
or the
what do you think about?
God, I hope he writes on a Rancor.
What did y'all think about?
They're totally bringing the Rancor back. They can't just throw him in there. It was just a one episode thing.
Chekhov's Rancor.
Oh, can't wait to talk about Chekhov's piano later on, but we'll come back to that.
So, what did y'all think? What did y'all think of Ahsoka in this episode?
I love Rosario Dawson, but I can't stand her as Ahsoka.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, maybe it's just Ahsoka's character, because Rosario Dawson's a sweetheart. I love her. She's phenomenal in everything she touches. She's a phenomenal actress.
Wait, which one's Ahsoka?
The orange.
The Twilight.
The orange Jedi female. She was on the planet.
Is she a Jedi? Is she a Jedi?
Technically not.
Technically not.
Oh,
she left before.
If we're gonna say
finished.
Grievous isn't a robot, then I'm gonna go ahead and have to call you out of here.
Well, to be fair, Luke is a Jedi, but I don't know. I did Yoda cut off his ponytail in the 2D series.
Is Luke? Did you say Luke is a Jedi or isn't a Jedi?
Is Luke a Jedi?
Yeah,
in the sense that Ahsoka isn't.
Because of Episode 8, he was the last Jedi, so therefore he had to be a Jedi.
But did you catch the fact that she referred to him as Master Luke?
Yes.
And I felt that was a great slight against Darth Vader there.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe Ahsoka found Yoda and she he completed her training. You know, easy to fix that.
Like when you're watching Luke and then like Ahsoka comes into the screen for the first time, like when they're both on screen at the same time, and they like look at it, they shoot each other looks, and I'm like, dude, they totally banged. Why else would she be on that planet?
I know,
Jedi,
right? I know.
Now go back and watch that scene. Look at the look that Ahsoka gives, like shoots Luke. Like, dude, they totally hooked up.
That's beyond weird, considering her, association with Anakin and the fact that she's probably
she's fulfilling her. Maybe she's got daddy issues with daddy,
and she's like probably 50 years older than him. So
hey, every smart man knows how to.
Yeah, whoa, man.
How great an older woman is.
How many other Jedi do you think are alive in the Filoni-verse? Do you think Cal Kestis from the video game is in this, or will show up?
If he hasn't died on screen, then he's in the universe and waiting to be milked.
Well, there might not be many Jedi, but what about the Jed ears, the Jed noses?
I guess you're asking the question wrong.
How many Force sensitive?
Because there are no Jedi right now, but the question really is how many Force sensitive people are there that can be trained?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just know like Cal, like that was the video game like Force Awakened or whatever what came out last year was very popular. So I imagine they want to milk that character because he was like, he was a Padawan that escaped the Great Purge and he was like living on that junk planet. And then I haven't finished the video game, but I hear good things. People really liked it, so I imagine he'll show up. And the voice actor was like they used his actual like visage for the video game. So I imagine
the fact that Obi-Wan could hide on Tatooine and not be found would lead to believe that there are a lot of Jedi who weren't killed by Order 66 who are just like, wow, the Empire is really stupid. If I just hang out in plain sight, I'm good to go.
Luke didn't even change his last fucking name. Like, just out of curiosity. Like, if I ever met like another insert my last name here, right? I would just look them up out of curiosity because it's such a random last name. Like, if I was like looking through the Tatooine phone book and I saw a Skywalker, I might be a little curious to look him up.
Well, that was
powerful man in the universe.
Well, that was the 20 years after the Great Purge, but I guess it is kind of stupid that Darth Vader didn't know where to find his son when he was on the planet that he grew up on, and he had the exact same last name
with his aunts and uncles.
And he knew where his stepbrother was.
I mean, it's about as smart as being called Obi-Wan Kenobi and then going into hiding and changing your name to Ben Kenobi.
I think. Well, to be fair, I don't think Vader knew his children were alive or that had.
Palpatine lied to him. Like he did 1,000 times before. Why would you trust anything the most evil man in the Empire with ultimate power? Why
don't you know that gif when he's just like, no?
Like, have you read the comics? All the comics are like the Darth Vader comic series is excellent, and all it is him and Palpatine dicking each other over. Like these guys are like the worst team of all time.
But they're sort of like codependent, right?
Besides Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
It's almost like Tom and Jerry.
Or Pinky and the Brain.
Like Palpatine
Pinky and the Brain's awesome.
Kill Vader.
Pinky's my favorite character ever.
What are we going to do tonight? What are we going to do tonight, Palpatine? Same thing we do every night. Try to blow up Alderaan.
So what did everybody think of the training montage there, sequence?
It was good. I mean, it was like what you expected it to be. It was very reminiscent
it would be a lot more. Oh, it was super reminiscent. I'm pretty sure when Luke was like, there was that running montage when Luke had Yoda on the back. I'm pretty sure that was shot for shot from his training on Dagobah.
Why wasn't Luke on Grogu's back?
That's what I was waiting. That's what I wanted to see.
No. So funny thing. Have you guys seen that video? Seagulls Stop It.
Yes.
That's all I could think of during that
whole time.
Run, jump. I can be your backpack while you run. And I was laughing. My wife's looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, it cracks me up.
Seagull, stop it.
Hey, so you know how much I love my VFX. So, like, what did you think of his deep fake?
He looks better.
It was great.
Definitely better.
They're like right there.
They still had a little bit
of tell it, but it's right there though. I feel
so, a little bit of uncanny valley though. Still,
it's just mainly in the mouth.
So much better than before.
Yep.
And actually, I applaud Disney. They hired one of the VFX artists on YouTube who did a better rendition of the original.
Those are the guys. Those are the guys I've been forwarding you the VFX videos.
Yeah, so I was really like, dude, that deepfake looked so good. Like my first thought was literally, damn, that looks good. And two, I was like, I bet Rob's gonna be so happy when he sees this.
So I guess initially before this, the actor who is Winter Soldier, something Stan.
Yeah.
He's also in Pam and Tommy. Yeah. He was initially brought up as acting as Luke. And if you look at some of the pictures, it's kind of eerie how
he looks very close to it.
Yep.
In the right light. Yeah.
I hope they don't, though.
That would have made more sense. But
we saw how well a young Han Solo recasting a younger actor, how that worked out. But casting someone who would have been older than Mark Hamill was when he was Luke just seems like a bad idea. But
I mean, we're also in the future. We're also looking at older Luke.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's some leeway there with, because I know Ewan McGregor's coming back as Obi-Wan, and he's like not quite as old as Alec Guinness was, but he's getting close. So, I mean, maybe you could play maybe a few years down the road, you could play an older Luke before Last Jedi. But
after the X-Men fucked everything up, I don't care anymore. Right? Like you'll never do worse than the X-Men. They're decade time hopping movies.
Oh God, yeah,
they were like 40 years. It was like a decade away from like. What's that gorgeous guy who was the android on Prometheus? Michael Fassbender, right? Yep. Like, and then like 10 years from now, he's supposed to look like Patrick Stewart or Ian McKellen. Yeah, like, get the fuck out of here, right? So like, I don't care. That X-Men ruined it, right? Like they set the bar so low that anything just has to be better than X-Men to pass. Well,
they completely glossed over how Patrick Stewart was able to get another body. Apparently, he's like a twin brother who's in a coma.
His name is Juggernaut.
Julius Xavier.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Well, Juggernaut's his stepbrother. He's not like his twin brother.
Oh, well, that's lame.
So maybe Larry Xavier.
Larry Xavier. What a dumb name.
Oh, was that your Discord or just beat Magic? I put a thing in our Discord.
Anything else on Manuscript of Mandalorian? What else happened?
Let me ask you this. First off, we got to talk about the decision. First off, is Star Wars' plan to just destroy Luke Skywalker's reputation post original trilogy series? Like they did a lot of damage of his overall reputation in the sequel trilogy. But like he's such a dick in this, like, oh, Grogu, you gotta choose one or the other. Like, isn't this kind of like how Anakin became like the dark side, which made me catch Force Darth Grogu.
Yeah.
Well, they talked so much this episode about balancing the Force, and it made me think about like
the dark saber.
Grogu is going to be on the dark side.
So, I will say this: Luke is essentially trying something from start, and really doesn't know what he's actually doing. I think that Grogu will pick the chainmail. Yeah. And then Luke will come to his senses about maybe some things that the Jedi have believed aren't the best things. And maybe holding on to some part of your past is worthy. But also, what I hated, though, is Jedi are supposed to build their own lightsabers. So handing Grogu a lightsaber is kind of like, it's a bribe. So that's Luke is...
lightsaber.
So he's wearing all black. So Luke wears all black in Return of the Jedi because it's the possibility of him turning to the dark side. And then when he fights, when he chooses at the end, a flap opens and he's gray. It's a gray flap showing that he's, accepted coming back to the light. And he's wearing all black again. So maybe Luke is actually,
You think he's a little dark?
A little dark.
Maybe dark enough to like burn down a school full of children?
What if for like 10 years?
He almost kills his nephew.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, and like his dad was a psychopath, like the most infamous murderer in the galaxy. Like, don't tell me there's not just a little bit of like serial killer in Luke.
Well, I think, this idea that you can only be one or the other is what ultimately does the Jedi in. You're either, there's
ironically,
a gray
because
area.
only the Sith can absolute irony.
Yep.
It's kind of like, there's no right or wrong. There's like,
there's only more content to make.
It's like life's more complex than, black and white. So you gotta have nuance.
I got a couple of reasons. One, merchandising.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to own a baby Grogu, some kind of memorabilia, great baby Grogu.
Or a black robe.
Mithandril. Like, I cannot wait for that. That chainmail is gonna be so dope. My question is, why would you write this episode like this? Except at the end of the second rewatch, I was thinking maybe Grogu chooses the chainmail, and Luke has to take Grogu to the Mandalorian on Tatooine, and that's how he gets involved in the fight for the season finale.
Would be cool.
Something happens that keeps him there, and he's got to help. Like,
So you think we're gonna see Luke and Grogu again in episode 6, or do you think they might wait till Mandalorian season 3?
I hope we'll see him again in the last episode of the Book of Boba Fett. We'll most likely see this episode, this arc picked up. And
you know who I really want to see in the last episode of the Book of Boba Fett?
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, I mean,
we
had to go 80 minutes. Right?
Talking about
80
Boba
minutes.
Fett.
Dude, what if they just mess with
Boba
us? What if it's just like just Fennec Shan the entire time, and she like fights the whole battle? Boba
What
Fett's
if they
just, like,
rename it?
protecting.
What if they rename it the Book of Fennec Shan? Like
No,
they renamed
the
Captain
facts.
America and the Winter Soldier afterwards.
The facts of Fennec Shan, like FAX.
this is what the title should be, guys. Because the show is kind of about Boba Fett, it should be the Book of Boba Fett-ish.
I was thinking it should be Tales of Tatooine. How
More
cool
like
does that sound?
More like the pamphlet of Boba Fett, because he's in
the
the
Tales of
middle.
Tatooine, and then they could have like a whole thing, and then that would
The
allow
cliff
them
note
to, like,
about
go back.
Boba
Yeah, I was gonna say the Spark Notes of Boba Fett. That
The
works.
Spark Notes of Boba
No,
Fett.
Tip. I love your idea. Love
The
your idea.
flashbacks of Boba Fett.
The
and
Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, it should be the back to tank of Boba Fett. Hey guys, you want to spend the next 20 minutes of the podcast just riffing different titles?
The novella of Boba.
And at the end of the last episode, it was all just a reading from the book.
The haiku of Boba Fett.
It was all like
Yes.
a
That would be great.
child's dream, like that one hospital show. Was it called Saint Elsewhere?
Saint
Elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's just a
It
dream.
It goes out to some famous book reader.
a saint. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
Morgan
what they-
Freeman.
I wonder
It
who
turns
would
out
they
Morgan
choose.
Freeman is
Oh my God,
dressed
they
up
had
as
Morgan.
Mandalorian with his helmet off, and he's like reading the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh my God.
There was some really good writing in here. When Cobb Vanth is talking to Mando, and he's like, Mando, you get away with saying all those things because of your smile. Like, just good writing. Just fun stuff.
I loved it.
You guys think Cobb Vanth is definitely alive? Was this the first time someone's ever been shot by a blaster and not killed?
Oh wait,
And
do
he's
y'all
only
think
shot
is
once.
Cobb Vanth alive? Do you think?
Yeah. They put patches on him. First off, I was surprised anyone had I didn't think there were med kits or med packs in the Star Wars galaxy, because it seems that one shot, no matter where you get shot, just kills you. Like, there's no need for med packs. But I think Cobb got shot in the shoulder, and it looks like he's been recovered.
His deputy's dead.
As
Good.
sci-fi
Yeah, and
too.
you notice how they all ran past the
dead
deputy.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
a piece
Oh
of
yeah.
shit.
Speaking of deputies, man, it was so sad to see
That guy died.
Can't wait.
the deputy in Peacemaker.
Oh, is this a transition? I love it.
Very awkward.
Yes.
Have 'em all
You're
of them
about as
stumbling
awkward as
transition.
the sheriff. You're about as awkward as the sheriff.
Do y'all?
come together.
All right. Anything else about Boba Fett?
Yeah,
we
last
missed
thoughts
off?
on Boba Fett.
'Cause what did
Really
Mando
quick-
do? Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I found out that the bartender in Freetown, as it's called now, is actually the bartender from Deadwood.
Isn't that cool? It's so
Oh, really? What's his
Yeah,
name? E. Earl Brown or W.
Yeah,
Earl Brown?
something
Yeah. Okay. I had
But
no idea.
I think it's gonna be the bartender who rallies the town to fight the Pike Syndicate, and I think it's if I didn't know they'd worked together in a previous program, I'm not sure if I would have been able to assume the close relationship between him and the bartender, but they seem to be very close.
I'm looking at his
Yeah.
Wikipedia page. He's wearing a Star Wars shirt, so yeah, I think he was in the show.
Yeah.
I guess I think he
Matt
might be.
says
He
it's
might be a
true.
fan. The Weequay proprietor. Okay.
You know what was the worst part about this episode was that
The
when that
credits.
It
sexy
ended.
alien lady was blown up.
Oh,
Sexy
yeah,
lady. R&T
Jennifer
sexy
Beals.
lady.
Jennifer Beals from what was that dancing movie? She was
All
in.
about you.
No.
Flashdance? No, I don't know.
So I think it's
17 again.
she was in
Really good looking.
oh
dancing
Flashdance. Yeah, she
lady.
was in Flashdance.
So-
I feel like
That's funny.
3 weddings and a funeral.
Yeah, so she's an attractive. She was in Swamp Thing too. She was like the sheriff in that, and that was a good show too. So, yeah, it's like she's dead. She's
Is she dead though? All we know is the place blew up.
Happened off camera, not confirmed dead.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, so this is all at war.
Off camera kills.
Is there one more episode left, or are there 2 more episodes left? I think there's one left, right?
Just one more. So
yeah, 7 episodes of Boba Fett, 8 episodes of Peacemaker.
Yes.
Which,
oh no, there's like 2 left of Peacemaker.
I know, but the next episode he's gonna fight the motherfucking white dragon.
Yeah, so at least when Boba Fett ends, we'll get another week of Peacemaker at least.
We were talking about when that armor is coming back.
Yeah.
Coming back next.
Or someone's wearing.
Came back this episode, but we're gonna get to see it in full effect. Did you watch the sneak peek of the next episode?
No, I don't want to know.
Yeah. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I will just say they show off a couple of his powers if you want to see it. They reveal no plot. I would say it's nothing but an effing tease. Nothing but
a few clips.
Yeah, just a few short clips of like get you hyped up for the next episode.
Throw it on the Discord.
Yeah, I'll throw it on the Discord. I am pumped. The White Dragon looks to be maybe one of. Well, now I'm thinking about DC villains. Might be the best looking DC villain since Starro. I mean, not just since Starro, but excluding Starro.
You didn't like General Zod's design?
I
mean, the movie, and people have issues with it, but I thought he looked like.
Yeah, I mean, they all look really cool. I don't disagree with that, but this looks way cooler. Like, what is General Zod's powers? He has a bad haircut. That's the only thing I can fucking think of. When I think of General Zod, I think of that terrible haircut. That's all I can think about. He's not menacing. It's embarrassing.
Wait, I was looking up the after credits. It wasn't just. It didn't pull up the preview. It pulled up the other after credit. I forgot about. He was trying to look sad.
Yeah. That guy's so creepy.
That's hilarious.
What is wrong with him? Does he have a butterfly? Because I thought he had a butterfly in him.
I totally thought it was like, dude, he's totally a butterfly. But
I think
he's not.
He was just a shadowy government guy.
Just some messed up cop.
Or butterflies come.
He seemed to enjoy it.
Butterflies.
So let's talk about Mern. Yeah.
Let's talk about really Mern. Mern to notice.
Well, really quick before Mern, we all know that the cow. We've already known. What have been told is going to be a giant Mothra, and they're going to have to fight a giant Mothra when they go to that barn.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think it's going to be an actual cow? You think it's going to be a giant Mothra?
Yeah, because he's already said it. Am I going to have to fight a giant Mothra?
Good point. Chekhov's piano gives you a plus 33% probability of that being correct.
Chekhov's Mothra.
Right. Chekhov's Mothra.
So
let's talk about Chekhov's diary. Didn't see that. We were confused about what the diary was the whole time.
So
it was Amanda Waller being a bitch.
So yeah, that was planted. So we didn't actually write that, right?
No, he didn't write any of that. They were planning that. So if the mission went sideways or if the mission was complete, they would just pin it all on Peacemaker.
And he'd get arrested again, and then he'd be back under his control.
Suicide Squad number 2. Let's go.
That sure screwed up.
I know. I'm ready for Suicide Squad number 2.
No, I'm ready for the Suicide
Squad number 2. Yes.
Big Suicide Squad. They go to Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think so. Mern. I guess everyone's cool with him being a butterfly because he's a good butterfly.
Well, we don't know that because Peacemaker and Vigilante don't know that, and I'm not sure why they didn't share that with the whole team. I get that.
Yeah, and I thought, and that other one drew like the peace symbol on the jar.
Goth, the butterfly.
But then I don't think.
I think that was a threat. Yeah, I think that was a lie. I think that was a threat.
Because as soon as got free,
he fucking invaded the whole police station. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll talk about that. This episode, it's like a nacho platter. Yeah, you just want to fucking just stick your face in it, but let's enjoy it one chip at a time because it's so fucking good.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to remember, like, after Mearns says he's a good butterfly. I don't remember what else happened.
So they had like a falling out.
Well, I think after that, then like Peacemaker and they release White Dragon from prison.
Yeah, Peacemaker goes home.
So they go after Peacemaker, the police do, and then the vigilante Peacemaker escape, and then they drop the butterfly jar, and it takes over the Asian detective. And that was like,
which was sad. I like that.
Skipped over all the yes or no questions.
It sucks.
Yeah, is teal his favorite question? James Gunn, we want
favorite
answers.
color.
And it really sucks. There's like nothing you can do if a butterfly wants to take you over. Like I thought you had to like be asleep.
I thought you had to like maybe close your mouth, but apparently, I guess if you're running away screaming, your mouth is open. So maybe don't.
I'm just amazed they didn't show a butterfly going up somebody's butt.
I was wondering if someone was going to do that.
That's what's going to happen to John Cena.
I thought it was going to happen with the like slow-mo guy running down the hall.
You know what'd be really hilarious is that like this was shot like during the pandemic. So ironically, with everyone wearing masks, the butterfly invasion wouldn't have been able to happen.
That's true. I know. It's like,
if everybody had their mask on.
It's all commentary about like
like
proper
so
COVID
funny.
safety protocols.
Oh man!
And they can go through
says, you should wear your mask. In 95 or better.
The South Park episode.
Yeah, well, we're not quite there yet.
Great tangent.
Yeah,
I know.
I just thought it was too good.
But if anyone sees Peacemaker pajamas, please tweet at us because I'd love to pick up a pair.
They might make those now. You know?
I think they're called white
party.
guys.
You could have a pajama party.
Just like
in my pants.
So,
said, do you really want to? Do you really want to?
Or how about a white dragon Halloween?
Yeah, I don't think that'll go over well.
No.
There is probably going to be someone...
You're going to get the whole thing demonetized.
I'm sure at some comment
I do not condone
someone's going to go... Someone's going to come as a white dragon. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to be a big controversy.
Someone's going to get shot.
Well, there has to be villains. I mean, that's the thing. Like, the world isn't, just
the worst
some
part
happy fairy place
someone
with Superman.
Is not going to be able to afford HBO Max, not see this, see that dope ass costume online,
and not know context.
And buy it. However, I like to go ahead and imagine that there's no one on Etsy fucking willing to make white dragon costumes, but I don't know, maybe they're racist on Etsy. I don't know.
Well, it's funny, like Etsy. It's so normal for someone to go as the Joker, who's also like a mass murdering psychopath. But like if someone showed up as the white dragon,
no one said murder was bad, but murder based on race is.
Yeah, so I guess like
it's all.
Joker's okay.
It's all negative.
White Dragon would definitely, cause some conflict. People would probably, be
sensitive.
But some things are more negative than others.
Yeah, I think.
Now, is there justifiable, death?
Is there justifiable cosplay?
That is a moral question.
Tim, I will guide you to
but done in hatred is always going to be wrong.
A book I read in college, tip that you need to check out, Just and Unjust Wars by I think it's like Walzer or Weitzer. Very interesting debate on that.
Oh, well, you guys should read a book called Flatland. That's the book I read in college. It's about what if we lived in a two-dimensional plane space.
Is this like that episode of Futurama?
We do.
It was a legitimate book, and Futurama paid homage to it, but yes.
So, what else happened in this episode? I don't think it was definitely a setup episode. More like nothing, not a whole lot happened.
Let's talk about Peacemaker playing "Home Sweet Home" by Motley Crue.
So, did John Cena actually play that?
Yeah, he actually played piano.
Yes, he did. James Gunn tweeted out that he was like, for all the people asking, yes, that was actually John Cena playing, and there were enough wide shots that I believe that beforehand.
Watched like the featurette for this. Last year, and like it was like during like the they were
nerd
just practice piano, so
yeah,
I already knew that.
That's kind of cool.
So I'm like,
and there was enough like minor mistakes in the playing.
Did you think that's what's going to happen first?
It was good.
What's up?
Hello.
So since you knew that, Forrest, as soon as you saw that piano, did you knew that was going to happen?
Oh yeah, I knew he was going to start playing.
I saw the way he got
episode. If they're going to wrap up the White Dragon storyline, I think he's going to kill his dad. Hopefully, it'll be a big epic fight. Maybe it might be the last episode, or they'll do the Mothra thing for the final episode. So they got the butterfly plotline, the White Dragon plotline. One of those will get resolved next week. Probably the White Dragon one, I'm guessing.
I wish they dropped both though, so you just watch it back to back.
All right, what's going to happen? Who is going to die? Let's make some predictions.
So, let's talk about first off. All right, let me give this because that's a great question. Tip. I want to give a spoiler here. This isn't a real spoiler, but I will tell you, Robbie shared a theory with us from Twitter that might have ruined the whole TV show for me because it's all I can think about now. So if you don't want that to possibly happen, go ahead and fast forward for the next 3 minutes.
Now it is just a theory.
It's just a theory from Twitter, so it's probably not real, but it's such a good one
Twitter.
that I want to talk
What
about.
is real?
Or Robbie, do you want to introduce it for us?
Yeah, so they're saying so in the intro scene, everybody's got straight faces and they're all dancing around to the music.
Super straight-faced.
Yeah, so they're saying, what if all of them are butterflies already? And that's why they all look like
Mind blown. And then we saw the detectives get taken over by butterflies, and I was like, is this a step closer to the confirmation of the theory? Because we saw on...
Even the neighbor, though.
I mean, if they're going to take over the whole world, they'll take over the whole world.
Yeah.
But the neighbor, I mean, he was tap dancing, but yeah, I guess he was still straight-laced. We noticed from the diary that the Wayne Foundation is a different logo than the Wayne Foundation in the DCEU. So this is a completely this could be a different universe where James Gunn could do whatever he wanted to with it. And plus, we know.
Well, no, they talked about Gotham.
They're going to reset it.
Going back to Gotham.
Well, I mean, there's Gotham in every.
Oh
DC,
yeah,
but we're saying this could be a different universe.
When a place is so bad, you'd rather go back to Gotham.
Damn, you must be in. Fuck. Where does the Arrow protect or
Star City?
No, yeah, sorry, the Green Lantern. Someone has to really
Coast City.
Now that is Coast City. What is the Blood Town? What's the one that Nightwing protects?
Bloodhaven.
Bloodhaven. Yeah, what a dumb name. I would never live in a city called Bloodhaven.
But it's BLU. It's pronounced Bloodhaven. It's like German or whatever.
Even worse. German. No, thank you.
I mean,
no one's gonna read it.
There's a Hell, Illinois, so there's worser names out there for cities.
Yeah, and you know what that population has? It's like 1,000, 2,000 people. It's not much.
Oh,
yeah, major.
You can say you've been to hell.
Yeah, no, you can't. They have that's like the number one export is the t-shirts, and it's like I've been to hell and back. Or
might not be Illinois, but
yeah, they probably make some good tourist money.
Yeah. There's a hell, Minnesota.
Look, Gastonia exists, so
gas. You think it's smelly, right? It's called Gastonia.
Well, no, so, I'll tell you what. Living near Gastonia for 9/10 of my life, I never once connected that to a fart joke. I don't know if that's my fault.
It's called Hell, Michigan.
Hell, Michigan, yeah.
It's not even a city. It's like an unincorporated community, but I think it's not as bad as
a city.
No, it says it's an unincorporated community in Livingston County, Michigan.
An unincorporated community. Yeah.
So it has
thank you, Wikipedia.
I'd call that a town.
I didn't even say what the population is. So I guess let's just go over South Park real quick. I don't have anything else in the Peacemaker unless y'all do. Good. It's a good show, but
is Peacemaker and Hargrave going to bang?
Probably. Oh yeah, I did like that scene where she put like a dove.
The dove on it.
Oh yeah, the first thing
he's like, I just don't want to kill.
The tail's on the wrong side.
I love how Peacemaker doesn't want to kill people just as we need him to kill people.
He's going to kill a whole lot of people. But they're not really people anymore.
Unless they're butterflies.
But yeah,
and I was just thinking of him with a shotgun, just pow.
That didn't make a lot of sense because they knew they were butterflies before, and he still couldn't take the shot.
Well, I don't think he knew. He didn't know what a butterfly was at that point.
No. He saw them
and also it was the kids.
No. He saw them after they tortured him. They tortured a vigilante. He found out what they were, but he didn't know when he was sniping them that they were not people anymore.
No. He saw them.
He saw the things coming out there.
He knew they were aliens. He still couldn't kill them.
But he didn't really know what they were at that point.
Yeah. You can try to wave your fucking hands all you want for it. You're not.
He didn't know what the butterflies were. He literally said, "What are butterflies?"
He still doesn't know what butterflies are. We still don't know what butterflies are.
Yes, he does. He has one in a jar.
Well, he got them in a jar to try.
Yeah, but we don't know what they are. What are their motivations? Do they want to take over the world? I mean, and first
off, what happened to that ship you found?
Yeah, what about the ninja
that
guy? He said butterflies aren't what they seem. So I'm gonna challenge this whole thing.
Shot.
Butterflies more than meets
Wait,
the
what
eye.
if they're moths?
Moths in disguise.
There's gonna be a Mothra. Yeah, the cow's gonna turn into a giant Mothra type. It's gonna be like an alien's queen.
It's just gonna be like a giant monster, just like the end of Suicide Squad, that they gotta kill with the power of friendship. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Do we want to talk about Kite Man? Do we care about Kite Man at all?
And then polka dot.
That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah,
John Cena taking down
that
Kate
whole
with
scene
two
with
rocket
what he
launchers.
was calling the kids.
Oh my
was
god!
Oh, they got
yeah,
a name
I
for
forgot.
all the kids.
Yeah, like what was it? What do you say? Like the Rubik's Cube champion of 2048? Yeah.
Oh, 2025.
Yeah.
2025 Rubik's Cube champion. He bullied
The Canadian
every kid in that
tuxedo?
class.
Oh yeah.
Canadian tuxedo was great.
Yeah.
Oh, ever met
I
the
think
Flash?
they even had those names on the credits too.
Yeah. What do you
That'd
call
be
the
great.
girl? Do you know the Flash? Like,
Oh
like,
yeah, he's
no,
a
he
total,
sucks.
yeah, and just like everyone else who's ever met the Flash, I think he's a total d-bag. Have you met Wonder Woman? Hey, don't speak out of turn.
Oh, and what about the girl who said like, "You might be my real dad,"
Dude, that was so funny. When he was talking about the park with his mom,
and then it just cut off.
like this
Like,
show is
oh,
written so
here.
well.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious.
I would
Yeah.
love to be a fly on the wall in that writer's room when like the person came with the idea. So he's bullying all the kids. What if one of the kids thinks that Peacemaker's his dad? Brilliant, write it in. Let's go.
They made me think of Black Dynamite too. And it's like, my mama says Black Dynamite's my daddy's name. He's like, get out of here, girl. So, South Park Pajama Day. It was the season opener. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I think the metaphor wasn't very strong. I mean, I know what they were going for, but I think they were
break
just.
it down for us for the listeners who didn't watch the
So-
23rd season. No,
So
Like,
basically,
25th.
25th
So basically, Mr. Garrison has a new boyfriend, but he's still not broken up with his last boyfriend, and he's telling the students about it. And like they're falling asleep because it's really boring. So he starts yelling at
Oh
him.
yeah.
And then
No one's paying
PC
attention.
Principal comes in. And he's like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And then Mr.
These
Garrison
kids are not helping. They're not listening. But
yeah,
he, but all they were doing was sitting there wondering, why is he telling us all this? And then all the kids look bad when they didn't do anything.
Yeah, so he takes away their Pajama Day rights, which is like a day when all the kids wear pajamas to elementary school.
And you slowly start learning how seriously they take Pajama Day in South Park.
I'm trying to remember, did we have Pajama Day in elementary school?
I don't think I ever.
I think, yeah, I don't know. There might have been like elementary school.
My kids do in elementary school.
Okay,
but
yeah.
Maybe
Well,
it
that's
did.
because
It's
you
been
have
so long.
in-home learning. So like every day is pajama day if you don't want to dress them.
Well, it's been 20 years, so.
I think you're kind of glossing over the big point too, is that the rest of South Park decides to stand with the kids and enforces like you wear pajamas to support the kids, but then some people don't want to wear the pajamas.
Yeah, and then it became like, oh, you're all against pajamas. Oh, so
I can see.
Oh
what
yeah,
they're
and they
going
start going where you to enter this establishment you have to wear pajamas. And he's like, why do I have to wear pajamas?
And it's
like a restaurant.
That seems like seems like such a fun analogy.
That's why I said it's like, if you look at it like the whole mask thing.
So
that's exactly what they're going for when all the adults start doing it.
What I did like was how they mocked everybody who compares when something's not aligned with their beliefs, comparing it to being a Nazi. What is it, Nazi?
They kept bringing up the Nazi thing.
Gina Carano, anyone?
Yeah. So I liked that part, but the whole idea, I think, with the pajama thing being equated to masks, it's like ultimately what concept are they anti-mask? Are they anti-choice in mask and therefore technically anti-mask? Like, what were they really pushing with that whole mask thing?
It's like they didn't want to pick a side. It was just like they were just making fun of. It's like South Park. They make fun of both sides.
They're just making fun of the whole situation.
We usually know which side of the argument they're on, or like because they make it's like the douche and the turd sandwich. Like you pick any side,
just
you're
making
stupid.
fun of the situation in general.
I think so. Yeah,
that's how I took it out. They're just
it's like
fun of the
so. I guess
entire
there's
situation.
I guess there's people like in masks who have like vandalized people who don't want to wear masks properly, and they're getting arrested. So it's just like, but it's funny. I was literally in the coffee shop today.
Oh, yeah, it's like this whole town is a powder keg waiting to blow because they're like because they started arresting the people happy that they arrested the person who wasn't wearing pajamas. But
it's really is like happening in real life because I was at the coffee shop today and I was about to order my coffee and the cashier like stops for a second and like there's a guy behind me not wearing a mask and she's like, "Sir, you have to put on a mask," and it's like a bearded guy who's he's like, "Well, that's fucking stupid." And he just storms off and leaves. So it's
somebody
like,
that will end up on Herman Cain Awards.
Probably, yeah. So, but yeah, it's just like, oh wow, like some people like really take it. Well, I not a big deal for me, but some people are really strong in their views and not wear it.
I have.
I know some
handfuls and handfuls of that story, and
it's become such
Florida.
A political thing. It's become such a political thing. Like,
they turned this.
If HIV/AIDS turned into an airborne virus, they wouldn't wear masks because they're so deep seated in their beliefs.
Yeah, it's science. You got to prevent the spread. It's not like if you wear masks, it doesn't mean you voted for Biden. It's amazing how it's become.
That's how a lot of people are taking it, though.
Yeah, it's like if I wear a mask, then I'm a liberal wimp. But I don't know. So, but yeah, this is a funny episode. I thought it was the last. It was like he lets everyone out of prison. He's like, oh yeah, the resolution was opposite day. So anything you've been told not to do, you can do. So they were told not to wear pajamas, so they could wear pajamas, but all the other kids were wearing pajamas too.
PC Principal was trying to find a way to get out of the situation.
Yeah. So who is that a metaphor for? Was he like a metaphor for Biden? Or
no, he's just PC Principal. He's been around for a while. He's just a metaphor for PC. For woke culture.
I don't know. Yeah, just PC.
Yeah, you have to go back and watch when he's person. You need to go back and watch the first episode he's in.
He's like PC Principal.
It's like super. Yeah, it's like way too.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Great. Major, you would have loved they made fun of Matt Damon's cryptocurrency.
Oh, they kept bringing that up a lot.
I can't wait for that.
And they were like, and they even mentioned it like, okay, enough with the Matt Damon.
He's like, Carmen's like, guys, we gotta be brave like Matt Damon. We gotta be brave like Matt Damon told us to. But didn't everyone lose their money?
And they all lost their money. Yeah, but they were brave about it.
Yeah, they were still.
I can't wait. I feel like the South Park creators have probably lost money in crypto.
Bravo, they're not happy with Matt Damon.
Trey and Parker.
I think they'll be okay.
Man, Major, you gotta watch the post-COVID episode.
Dude, I know. So I thought there were gonna be more, so I was waiting.
To use that promo There's only
code.
2.
But now they're not. No, then there's only 2. I can go ahead and just use the promo code and watch it.
I will.
Otherwise, I was about to just send you a link to something.
I will equate this episode to episode 1 of season 5 of Rick and Morty. It was like you're expecting a ton, and it just didn't deliver. It was kind of funny and kind of within the universe, but ultimately it was just very blah for a season opener.
Ha! Joke's on you. I loved season 5, episode 1.
I don't remember what happened. But yeah, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the episode. This is our 50th episode. So
congratulations, guys!
Yeah. Oh, well, although there'll only be 49 episodes available on the podcast channel, but we have recorded 50.
So like I said, Dan, it was when WandaVision.
Was that the one?
Was our first episode.
One per week, baby. One per week.
Was that one where we got to hear Rob's mouth noises instead of us talking?
Maybe. Oh yeah. He's like,
when I was just recording my end.
That's right.
He's doing his impression.
My mic was really sensitive, so you were hearing everything.
Yeah, he's doing his impression from Hey Arnold, the guy who stalks Helga, and then she punches him. Okay, well that's our show. Major, you want to plug our social media?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I wanted to do first before I plug all the social medias real fast, just ask if anyone else is watching anything good right now. I've been mainlining The Blacklist. I fucking forgot how good that show is.
There's a show on Amazon called Reacher I might check out. I just finished Ozark season 4.
How was Ozark season 4?
Oh, it's like halfway. It's like part 1 of season 4.
Matt, what did you think?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Especially the way it ended. However, I'm curious as to how the beginning gets tied in. So.
Yeah, it's not as good as the first 2 seasons, but I mean, it's good enough to where it's holding my interest. They're trying to wrap it up, so
Yeah. I am currently watching Pam and Tommy on Hulu. It is hilarious.
Okay.
Definitely worth a watch.
All right, Pam and Tommy. I'll check that out.
Did I mention Reacher on Amazon?
I mentioned Reacher.
Okay, I haven't seen that. I might check it out, but I heard apparently. Well, okay, here he looks like the actual character now. It's like because Tom Cruise is because the character is 6'5" with blonde hair in the books, but they had Tom Cruise play him.
Wait, is this Jack? Are you talking about Jack Reacher?
Jack Reacher, yeah.
Yeah, it's a show now.
I actually like that. So
the first movie I liked, yeah.
Yeah, quick story. I didn't want to watch Reacher at all, the movie, and then my 2 roommates talked me into it. So we all sat down to watch it, and then they fell asleep halfway through it, and I was just sucked into the whole movie. I really enjoyed it.
It was written by the same guy who wrote Usual Suspects, I think, and directed it.
Oh, really?
Too. And he's doing Mission. He's doing the last two Mission Impossible movies, I think.
As much as I don't want to, I really enjoy Tom Cruise's performances.
Yeah, he was good in them. I think just like the fans of the books were mad because he does not fit the description of the character. But I think in the TV show, he fits the description much better. And also, I think like the Jack Reacher sequel did not do very well, so I think they wanted to keep the franchise going. So yeah, I might check that out because I have nothing else to watch now until Wednesday. So well, that's our show. 50 episodes.
50 episodes. You can tweet us at Zealot Podcast on Twitter. There you'll also find a link for our free Discord if you want to join the conversation, talk about your favorite comic books. Let us know if Major was right or Forrest was right. We both know Major.
I've already forgotten.
Which means I win.
Yeah, I've already forgotten.
I'm Major.
No, Robbie.
Matt.
I'm Major. I'm Tip.
All right. See you, everyone. Have a great
Love
week.
you guys. Thank you.